Pastor Dr. Ibukun Awosika, founder, CEO, the Chair Center Group. Pastor Awosika is an internationally acclaimed entrepreneur, corporate governance expert, author, and leadership mentor. As the founder of the Chair Center Group, she has built one of Nigeria's leading furniture manufacturing and security solutions companies, while inspiring generations of entrepreneurs through innovation and visionary leadership. She made history as the first female chairperson of the First Bank of Nigeria Limited and has served on the boards of numerous corporate and non-profit organizations across sectors, including finance, education, manufacturing, technology, and social impact. She also serves as vice chair of the Global Steering Group for Impact Investment GSC Impact, championing sustainable development and inclusive economic growth worldwide. A passionate advocate for leadership development and women's empowerment. She is the founder of the Ibukun Awosika Leadership Academy, co-founder of WIMBIZ, and convener of the International Women Leadership Conference in Dubai. A recipient of numerous national and international honors, Pastor Awosika continues to inspire individuals and organizations across the globe through her unwavering commitment to ethical leadership, entrepreneurship, and nation building. Please join us in welcoming our mother, mentor, role model, and a woman of God, Dr. Mrs. Ibukun Awosika.
Thank you. Please be seated. I sincerely apologize for extending your program by this much time and by coming so late. But Pastor Bayer and I had all the conversations in advance, and he's my brother. That's why I'm here. So I'm committed to getting here, but I was in camp doing something for Mommy Gio, and there was just no way to get out faster, and then we had to travel to get here. So all of a sudden, your church seems so far. I kept asking my driver, are we not there yet? Like a child, but we're here. That's the most important thing. Our Father and our Lord, we bless you. I give you praise, I give you glory, I give you honor. I ask that you would speak through me. Fill my mouth as I open it, Father. Take all the glory. Take the stage and let your name be glorified. I'm a yielded vessel, just a vessel in your hands, Father. Use me for your glory as you speak to your people according to your will. In Jesus' name, amen. You know, normally the keynote starts the day and everything builds on it. But I'm coming to close the day. So without hearing what has been said before. But you know what? The Holy Spirit is perfect in all his ways. And I've seen some of the people that have spoken to you. I know that they would have shared from the best of themselves because they're the best at what they do. So I know that you would have been blessed already. And anyway, more than that, for all of us is, how do we empower our future? You know, you've heard everything. You've covered different industries, from creative, from Mariah to agric to clothing, to different practices and different industries. All of that is good. So I have no business trying to tell you about any specific industry. My assignment is just to let you know that the future you have for tomorrow, you build it today by the things you do today. It's the choices you make today that determines how your future is empowered. The knowledge you gain today that will support you through this season and continue to help you to build in the future that you have. The relationships that you make today, the way you make them, the respect you have for people around you will ensure that in your tomorrow, when you get to certain crossroads, there are always people there. Somebody, there's a way to pass. What they really mean is, who is the gatekeeper that will open the door for you? That's really the truth. So it's about, how do you handle relationships? If you're building a future, are you investing in the human capital around you? And not just people up, Because you see, the mistake we always make is our eyes are up, our hands are lifted for people that are up. But we always forget that there are people down that are going to get up. And when we're talking about your future, the people you're looking up at today, where do you know whether they'll be down tomorrow? Because life has different stories that it tells. And the people that are down today that you have not recognized, respected, or not connected with, you would have to need so much effort to try to make a contact with them. So one of the lessons I've learned in my short life is that every human being is a key asset in your life. No matter what business you're in, what industry, it's irrelevant. It's just that at every door and every gate into your future, there's a human being there. They will work for you or work against you. It depends on how they experienced you when they had a contact with you. So build the habit, build the culture of treating every human being like they matter, because they do. From the house help in your house, to the driver around you, to your neighbors, to the lowest person around you, to the highest. Respect costs nothing. Kindness costs nothing. You know, when the Bible says, "Oh, no man nothing but love," that was our key for relationship building. Because God realizes that in our journey of life, we will always need people. And what kind of relationships have you built? Never close a door in a way that you cannot go back and knock on it. There's some people that you know, there's a distance between you and them, but the Bible says, "Oh, no man nothing but love." You recognize who they are, you recognize how they are, but you learn how to say, "Good morning, how are you?" whether they answer you or not. You leave a legacy of grace. You know, I've told a story before about some people that we used to live in the same place, that if I greet them, they will not answer me. And my friend's mother taught me how to deal with that. You know, she just said, "Okay, one day alone, eh?" She said, "Walking one day alone." I said, "Mommy," she said, and you know, we were bad people. "Good morning, ma." "Yes, ma. Thank you, ma. Bye-bye, ma." I just imagine they answered. I said the next thing and the next thing, and I continue. You know, it worked. I learned from that time that my friend's mom taught me that I can deal or live with anyone. I discount you based on you. If you have value that is good for me and it's enough, I take it. I discount your weakness, because me too, I'm not perfect. So perchance you have complaints about 1,001 people around you. Have you looked in the mirror? Because you're not perfect. And if you're dealing with your future, there will always be people in your future. Sometimes the people you met 10 years ago are the ones that you got to a place where everything is looking difficult, and they remember you. But what do you think they remember about you? How they experienced you when they met you 10 years ago. That will determine whether they help you or not. I can give you 1,001 examples of places you just walk into. Did you go to Ife? You know, somebody is saying, you're looking at the person, you're blank. You can't remember them. Yeah, I went to University of Ife. Okay, Obafemi Awolowo University, that's what they call it now. Those of us that went to Ife know we went to Ife. Those that went to OAU know they went to OAU. And you say, "Oh yes," you say, "Oh yeah, I remember you, you were in this." You better pray that what they remember about you in that moment is the right thing that will make them open the door for you, and not what will make them shut it against you. For the younger people, there's a future to build. It's about how you make the journey look. For the older people, your neighbors, your friends, I walk past someone, I don't know them. "Good morning." "Morning, sir. How are you?" You know, you don't say more than that. But the day you need the help, they remember, that woman always greets someone. That's all. It's not complicated. Life is not. Oh no man, nothing but love is a key for relationship building. You cannot do business without relationships. Let's understand this. People like to do business with people that they like. So pay attention to how people experience you, because it is key. 2, you see, a teachable heart is a progressive heart. The tendency to want to act like you know in every situation will make you miss out on a lot of help. Me, I can learn from a 10-year-old child. I can learn from a 5-year-old child. I love multi-generational rooms. Why? What I know is different from what a 10-year-old knows. What I know is different from what a 30-year-old knows. What I know is different from what my driver knows. Why? What you know is based on the level of your education and your exposure. But let's test your education. How many graduates are in the room? Okay. So, you know, you're educated, aren't you? Are you not sure again? You're educated. Maybe you went to university. You have degree. Okay. So, how many degrees do they have in that university of yours? Okay. For the sake of argument, let's say 50. How many did you get? Okay. Did you get a master's? Okay, 2. We dash you 2. Did you get a PhD? We dash you. So you got 3. So you got what? 3 degrees. How many is left? 3/47. What percentage? No, it's not 0. 3/47 is what? It's 6%, Abby. So if you got 6%, did you pass? So from today, when they say you are very educated, don't deceive yourself. Because you are not. Why are you not? You left so much knowledge behind in your university that you didn't take. So the arrogance and the pride that I know so much, I'm this, I'm that, it's nonsense. You must, if you want to build a future, you must be open and teachable. You must have humility of spirit to always learn. Why? The future that is ahead of you, you don't know. Information, knowledge goes obsolete, especially in this tech age. Everything you knew yesterday that you thought was great, tomorrow, how great will it be, or how relevant? But if you're already caught up in what you know, you will not be open to what you don't. You will not be teachable. You will not learn. When people are sharing information around you, you will have an attitude that will block your mind. And therefore, you will not be a progressive person. So the future of time now is relevant to the amount of information and knowledge that you have and skills that you gain. But the most dynamic part of it is that the skills are changing. Knowledge is ever increasing. Some are being deleted. Some new ones are being introduced. Some are being corrected. Some things you were taught yesterday to be right, today they've discovered they are wrong. True or false? So you must have humility of spirit, and you must be teachable if you want to continue to be relevant to the future. Me, I like going to school. I'm a lifelong student. Why? Because I want to be relevant and able to think for the time. I serve on multiple boards in different climes across different industries. I like working with different generations of people. Am I going to be the one that will get in the way of the sharp minds I'm working with? Because I have arrogance of my outdated information. I will tell them they don't know what they know because I don't know what they know. That's stupid. So for you to build a future, whether in skills, in any industry, you must be teachable. You must be open. I don't care if you're 100 years old. Any knowledge you gain today will empower you for tomorrow. In a conversation, in business, in trade, are able to put the value that they have on the table for the benefit of the organization. Our culture in Nigeria, our patriarchal culture, is contrary to that in many ways. So we have a system of bosses, not leaders. We have a system where once a guy has spoken, nobody else speaks. Even when we know a guy is wrong, because we don't have the courage to counter what a guy has said, we let a guy fall in the well. When it happens, when I say, I don't know, if we had said it before, he will not listen. Do you want to be the Oga that your team members knew the truth but could not put it on the table because of your ways? So if you want to build a company for the future and you want to secure your future, you need to ensure that your team has the ability to express their gift and their knowledge for the benefit of the organization. It helps you in terms of setting your clear vision, making informed decisions. Informed decision is called that because you have all the information you need in order to make the right decision. But in a bossy situation, you have the information that the boss has, not necessarily all the information. And therefore, you can make a decision that seems right, but might end up being wrong because you do not have a 360-degree view of the situation. You have a blind spot. And when you lead well, you motivate your team members to share what they know. And that helps your team to be more successful. So whatever the size of your organization, just develop the culture of enabling everybody that works with you. Let voices be relevant in what you do so that you're able to make the right decision, because guess what? The totality of our story is the summation of the consequences of every decision that we make. And our decisions are based on the information that we have. So you have to ensure that in your leadership and decision making, you're collective. Now, you must also make sure that you build communication and negotiation skills. I'm shy. I don't really see, being shy and communicating are two different things. Some people are loud, but they don't communicate. They just make noise. Do you understand? So we're not talking, that's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about shouting. We're not talking about being a noisemaker. We're talking about effectively sharing the right information of what it is you want to achieve with those on your team, or with people that are working for you, or contractors, or people that you have to deal with, in a way that they're able to deliver the value that you seek. So if you don't have those skills, invest in it. You don't have to be loud. You can still be shy and be an effective communicator, because people communicate differently. Determine your own way. Do you communicate better when you speak, or do you communicate better when you write? Check which way works for you. If you know that when you talk you get tired, when they annoy you, you will not say everything you want to say. Don't communicate with your mouth. Write what you want to write clearly. Write it down, because when you read it, you will know what is missing, and you correct it and update it, and you'll have a document that you can take up tomorrow to prove that this is what I said you should do. And that helps you. Someone like me, I think my thinking and my mouth, they agree, but my thinking and my hand, they don't. What does that mean? I think faster than I can ever write. My hand cannot write as fast as my mind works. So I'm better at speaking or recording what I'm thinking than if I'm writing. If I write what I'm thinking for you, I would jump words, because in my head it would mean I have written it, because the speed at which my brain works is faster than my hand can write. This is my personal reality. So determine yours. If you know that, okay, when people react one kind, you are going to shut up when you should say everything, then don't write. Communicate in the best and effective way for you as a person, and you must determine what that is for you so that you don't lose. Negotiation is about having an honest ability to negotiate in a situation. And what is the best way to negotiate? In a way that you all win. I know that sometimes people think that the winner takes all, but the winner always takes all for a short term. So if you're doing business with people and you try all the time to be the one that takes all the value, you know what will happen? After a short while, they will not do business with you. Why? Because you don't care about other people. You just care about you. So the nature of how we engage with people in business determines for how long we do business with them. People like to do business with people they can trust, and people who are considerate of other people. But if you're not playing the long game. There are people I've been doing business with for over 37 years. But it's about trust and integrity and character. And that comes through in negotiation. If there's a place that reveals who you are, negotiation does. If it's a win-win, you will negotiate fairly, you will take value, but you will ensure that the other party is not ruined in what you're trying to do. At the end, you want both parties to win, because that's when you can continue to build together. Most men will find that difficult because, guys like to take everything. But honestly, the wisest men in business understand that when they play fair and they play just, they play long. And in business, you want to play the long game. Because what it costs you every time to build a new alliance and a new relationship and all of that is not worth it. It's too expensive to start all over every time. The best customers you have are your repeat customers. And with repeat customers, you both have to win. And you must work it out. So you have to learn how to do that. Now, if you're trying to empower yourself for your future, in this day and season, you must have financial management skills. I didn't say you should become a chartered accountant, but I'm saying you must understand money. You must understand how it works. You must understand how the records are kept. You must understand how to maximize money for the benefit of your business. You must know how to determine what your real profit is in your business as opposed to your revenue. Because a lot of people see revenue and they think they are making money. But you don't want to know how many businesses have high revenue but are dead. So it's really about you understanding. The knowledge you don't have, don't be shy about it. They have books, Accounting for Dummies. Are you a dummy? No. But that's their problem. That's what they name their book. Buy it and read it and gain the information and apply it. Or go to... I remember when I went for my MBA. So I didn't know how to use computers much. And I was going for a program in Spain where part of the program you get a laptop on day one, because the program included some long distance part. When you're home, you're still working, and then you're back in school. And they had all these very complicated software and platform that you had to use. Hey, that thing almost made me say I'm not doing the MBA again. So I now told the school that, look, I'm not very computer conversant. In my office, everybody does everything for me. So everybody does all the computer things. It's not me. I was in my late 30s, but I had people that were doing all the computer work, so I didn't have to do it. You know what they said to me? Come to school 1 week before everybody else. We'll have a teacher for you. Guess who my teacher was? One 18-year-old Canadian boy. One 18-year-old boy who had just finished high school, but was super smart, had built a tech company already and sold it. Yes. And he was in transition between, should I go to college or should I just continue with building another tech company? And his parents wanted to give him a chance to make his decision. So they told him, you know what, go to Spain, be an intern or a tech support in ESA Business School for the next 1 year. So he was there. So they did not consider my age, but they considered my lack of knowledge. And the person they assigned to me, this was the boy that was my teacher. So I will respectfully carry myself to the school every morning. The boy would sit with me in a room that was assigned to us, open the laptop, and started teaching me how to be able to use the platform that I would need for the program. Now, that's like how many years? 2003 to now. Is it written on my head? That 18-year-old boy was the one that taught me. Did I learn something or not? I've been serving on the board of that school for the past 12 years. I've been on the Global Advisory Board of ESA Business School because I went there. When my class graduated, I was the valedictorian for my class. So I knew what I knew, but there was something I didn't know. And if I was not humble enough to learn what I did not know, they would not have known what I know. So what I know will be useless. In fact, I get a lot of people who go to ESA, whether it's Barcelona campus or Madrid campus, for different things, and they come and say, or send me a message, Mr. Awosika, I'm so proud to be a Nigerian. I'm like, I went to ESA and they have this wall of pictures of amazing women from around the world who are from ESA. Your picture is there with all the documents. I laugh. If they only knew the story of how ESA started. But what is the lesson there? It doesn't matter what you don't know. It doesn't matter who teaches you what you don't know. Do you know what matters? That you learn what you need to learn. And once you learn it, who does shakara with it? So be teachable, be humble, learn every financial information that you need for your business to work. Find the programs, whether they are 10-year-olds in the class, it's okay. Go and sit there and learn what you need to know. It will make a difference to you. A woman who sells gari in the market, who has financial management skills, will build houses, and her peers will be wondering what she's doing. It's true. Because the way she will manage her money will be different. And she will understand. Do you know how I learned how to build houses early in my life? My father taught me a principle. So when I built the Chair Center head office, I built before I was 40. It was in my 30s. My father said to me, once you have land, you have a house. I said, between land and house, Daddy, it's a long distance. He said, no. When you have land, you have a house. Design what you want to build on it. I said, he said, yes. Then ask yourself, what is the first thing you need to do in order to build a house? What do they do first? They dig foundation. So he said, that's the only business you have at that point. Save up or find the money to dig the foundation. When you do that, you are not overwhelmed by the cost of a house, because it's just foundation. When you do that, what do they do next? They do blinding. What do they do for blinding? Sand, cement, and water. That's your next project. You save up to do that. When you do it, you have crossed 2 hurdles. Then they do what? They buy block to mold it out, and they buy sand and everything to fill it. That's your next project. Stage by stage, step by step, you challenge yourself in models. Before you know it, you finish building a house. That's how I built a big house like that in my late 30s. The knowledge that my father taught me became my power. I remember when my husband and I got married and we wanted to build our first house. We bought land and all that. I said, we have to save up for the house. I said, no, we don't have to. That's not how my father taught me. He said, I said, yes. That principle till tomorrow is how I operate on anything. It's why big things don't scare me. Why? Because I realize no matter how big the thing is, when I chop it into models, it becomes bites. I focus on the bites. As I move through one bite, I challenge myself with the next bite and the next bite. I have the whole picture in front of me, but I move in models. When I move in models, I will get to the last model. So knowledge is power. What do you not know? Whether it's financial management or technical skills or whatever. I don't know your industry. Learn it. Find it. There's a secret in every industry. So that's why you must be humble enough to learn from other people. To go and do tutelage. Beg somebody to come and serve without salary serve. Why? The knowledge they will give you is knowledge you should pay for. So if you serve them and you get the knowledge without them paying you, in many ways you got more than what they took out of you. Because what you do with that knowledge is what will count. Sales and customer relationship is about your character. Because why should people want to continue to do business with you? Do you build relationships, or are you forever fighting people? Can they trust you like we said earlier? Can your workers have a reason to stay with you? Can your customers have a reason to stay with you? When the transaction goes wrong, what do you consider? The money or the future? Hear me right. Sometimes you've done everything, it goes wrong. What do you do? If you're building for the future, you will always want to settle a matter with the person in the best way that you can. You know why? Every customer of today is your PR manager of tomorrow. Even the worst of them. If you treat them badly, the day you walk into a house to meet a man for a contract that is the biggest of your life, you just don't know. And it turns out the man that you messed up before is their cousin. And he's visiting. He's in the house. And they say somebody is looking for the person you came to see. And they say, no, that's the guy that's going to do my roofing project. The man doesn't know what they're talking about until you walk in. You walk in. You laugh. You too, self, you will know you're in trouble. We look at you and say, good morning. Say, good morning, sir. You know when you leave there, it will take God for you to still get that project. Because once you leave, it's going to say, that one you want to give work, I'm sorry for you. No. So pay attention. Oh, no man, nothing but love. It includes your customers. Even the worst of them is about how you manage it. I remember I had a customer that was a nightmare so many years ago. His wife was my friend. They wanted to make some furniture and stuff like that. We did all the work according to how his wife said they wanted it. When they delivered, he went ballistic. I'm like, what is wrong? That's not what I want. I said, but that's what your wife said they should produce. These are all the paperwork. His wife, who said they should produce it, suddenly went. Why? She was afraid of her husband. It was clear. So at that point, she denied us completely. I had to think, will I scatter their marriage because they ordered furniture from me by saying, but this is what? So I told him, it's okay, it's fine. We'll repeat it. Once we were repeating some of those things, we were at a loss. Please note that. So we went ahead and we reproduced what was required, and still the guy was not satisfied. Yes. At that point, I went to him and said, sir, this is the check of your deposit that you paid, so that I will owe no man nothing but love. I gave him back his deposit and said, we can't do this anymore. Thank you very much. Oh, I still greet them till today. I still talk to them. This is like how many years ago? Life has moved. Me, I've moved. Will I ever work for them again? Never. But relationship remains. It's the guy that every time he sees me will have his conscience to deal with forever. I can tell you a few stories. Don't forget where you are going, no matter what other people do. But your customers are your PR manager. One small customer of today can represent hundreds of millions for you tomorrow. So treat them right. Leave the right legacy. Even when things are wrong, the way you handle it will sometimes, they will know that things didn't work out, but the way you engage with them, your language, your attitude, your conduct. There's a guy that's been doing some solar work for our family for different projects. I remember my husband trying to describe the guy to me for a project. He said, you know what? The one thing I can say about that guy, if you say something is wrong and you call him, he will come. If you call him 100 times, he will come 100 times. Doesn't mean you won't have problem with his work, but he will show up. Do you know that's a major value? Because he does the work. A lot of solar guys anyway, you guys can fill in the gap. But this guy, even at his worst moment, he will show up. That's commitment. That's integrity. That alone allows you to overlook some things and work with him until you get a solution. So ask yourself, how do I engage with my customers? Do I engage with them in a way that guarantees that I will continue to do business with them, or that they will recommend me to somebody else? Now, are you all about processes, or you're strategic in terms of your business? Are you solution-centered or activity-centered? Because what problem are you trying to solve? Do you make decisions today that strategically prepare you for so long into your future? How do you decide what business to get into? How do you decide what business to continue or to shut down? Our schools do not teach critical thinking. And therefore, I find that we have a problem in this side of the world with people thinking things through. We think superficially. We're very surface in how we approach things. But to build sustainable businesses that will lead into the future, you have to think with a long-term mindset, not just the years. That's not it. It's about the strategic importance of what you do, what problem you're trying to solve, so you can also recognize when that problem is no longer something that people are trying to solve. True or false? Because sometimes a problem today is no longer a problem tomorrow. And therefore, the business you're doing is dated. That means it has a time frame. After that short term is gone. If we take something as mundane as pure water, if you sell pure water on Eco Bridge so many years ago and it was a very important business for you, do you still have market today? Why? You can't agree. What? The what? Traffic created the business. Once the traffic cleared, the business disappeared. So you need to always think about what is the strategic intent for what I do. Is it a short-term thing? And it can be. You can know that this is short-term. I want to do this just to generate resources for something that I will do more long-term. When you know it, you will plan with a short-term agenda. You're not going to invest some heavy capital that is going to disappear. It's like Lekki-Ekpe Express Road. The traffic used to be bad. What has solved it now? Half the time, people are like, I'm not passing, I'm on coastal road. I'm like, but I'm on the regular road. The traffic there has suddenly disappeared. Why? Because the traffic is now split. Some are on that road, some are on coastal road, and so the traffic has disappeared. So any business you created around that has become a different, you need a different consideration that you must consider. So always be sure of why you're doing the business you're doing, the intent of doing it, the tenor and the term related to it, the problem you're trying to solve, so that you can identify when that problem has been tweaked, when the demand pattern has changed, and when the solution that you need to be offering needs to change as well. It's like I was sharing somewhere, I was preaching a few months ago about my hairdresser. So I have this, my hairdresser is a guy. He's been my hairdresser for like 15 years or something like that. And he's very good, trained with the Lebanese people in all these blow drying and stuff like that. He's very good. But one day he came to me and said, there's no business. And I'm looking at him like, there's no business, Ke. How? All the women in Lagos, they spend God knows how much on their looks and their hair. Why would you say there's no business? He said, why do you think there's no business for him anymore? Thank you. Wigs and braids. Half the women, if you remove that wig, congratulations to the husbands. Wigs and braids. Now, what has he not done to re-engineer his skills for the current business situation? What he does with blow drying hair and everything allows him to dress wigs, but different ways. He can make wigs, he can dress wigs. But the people coming to blow dry their hair and dress it, they're so far and few in between. Like me, I don't wear wigs. I've never worn one before in my life. I cannot wear it. But people do. So the business has reduced, the market has changed. If it's either I braid or I blow dry, he needs to learn the wig business, and he needs to know how to support those who are doing other things with their hair. He had the skills. He's very good at what he does, but his skills became redundant because market trend has changed. What is the trend in your business? What is it changing to? Are you anticipating the trend, or you only realize it when the trend has changed? How do you anticipate trends? Do you watch, do you listen to what customers are asking? Are you reading? Do you know what is the industry, what is the support knowledge-based part of your industry? For me, as a young woman in furniture business, I used to, every year, I had a budget for traveling to go to Italy to the Milano Fair and to go to Germany for the Cologne Fair. Why? Because at that time, those two fairs showed the trend in the furniture industry. Every major, you will see, if you go to the area of the designers, you will see the trend of furniture that they're designing, which the companies will soon make their own versions of. If you go through all the companies, just walking around, walking through, you would see the things that most people have their own version of it. Then you know, this is what is emerging. And you begin to think of how. You know, one of the things that grew my business? Pastor Bayo, when Leadway was going to build their head office at Ikori, you remember? They had a desire to achieve a particular look. Those items are still there today, 32 years or so after. No, it's not for the club. Thank you, sir. It's so that we can save time. Do you know, they were talking to different companies. Me, I was young. I was pregnant. I wanted to go away to have my second son, but I also wanted to make sure I didn't miss competing for this project. So I kept going and going and going. After a while, I left. I went to have my baby. I came back. So they now said they were looking for something. What they were looking for, they could not achieve locally. And if they were going to import it completely, it was going to be too expensive for them. So you know what I did? Because I used to go to those fairs, I had a little study at home that had a lot of catalogs from different companies. I locked myself in my house for 3 days. Opened catalogs left, right, and center around me. Looked at different scenarios, created a solution. Went back to them and said, this is what I think you're trying to achieve. They said yes. I said, but this is the price if you were taking it outright from Italy. They said, yes, but we can't afford that. I said, okay, I think I can solve the problem. So I called the Italian company that I was already doing business with, that had a particular product that could help me with it. And I said to them, my client cannot afford this product as a whole. You're going to sell me the top piece. I'll buy it from you because there's no way I would get that particular product locally. But I need your help. I need you to allow me to reproduce certain parts locally. Because I was already doing business with them, they eventually agreed. They gave me a prototype. I brought it back. I disassembled it. We didn't have a metal production part in my factory, but we needed to do a major metal part. So I found the right metal people skills and brought them into the factory on contract. We got metal, all the iron we needed, and their job was to create and weld after the sample had been given by the Italian. And then the part that covers it, which was always in a certain laminate but would have increased the cost, we did a wood solution with finish using car paint that would give us a certain kind of finish that was durable to solve it. So we were innovating in order to get a contract. When we delivered the sample to them, that's how we got the job. Now, let me now tell you, when we finished that project, they had this grand opening. And there was this young woman, I was in my early 30s. And everybody was walking around the project like, oh wow, oh wow. I remember the chairman there, one Hausa guy. He asked them, who did this? Somebody pointed, I said, Nyari ya. I was skinny then, you know, now I filled up nice. The guy looked at me, he thought, skinny tall girl. She did this project? I was looking at him like, yeah, she did. Anticipate your market. That project changed how we did business for a long time, because it was my first time of thinking in pieces rather than in whole. From that moment, I never thought about furniture as a whole. It became easy for us to redesign products in parts and use OEM factories in 5 different countries to produce components for us. And we will have large stock of components that we could mix to create different things. Because you know what? We also learned strategic knowledge. Nigerians do not plan. They will build a 10-story building, and 2 months or 2 weeks to the opening, they will remember they need furniture inside it. True or false? Then they'll be looking around for who has furniture to fill a 10-story building. Who does that? But that became our strategic advantage. Because we were now producing in CKDs, OEMs required large order minimum quantity. So we were carrying large order components of stuff. When you ask about a project like that, we will say yes. Why? We just need to use our different components to create a solution for you. And in 1 week, we can actually fit out a 10-story, because we'll move out the parts already prepared. We will assemble them to solve the problem. If we don't even have everything you want, we will give you 40%, 50%. You will take it, and you wait for us to fill up the rest. That was part of how we grew rapidly. The experiment, the innovation, the understanding of the habit of the market that became critical information for decision making for us. You have to anticipate your market, because markets change. You have to know what the problem is in the market that you're trying to solve, because that's your strategic advantage. And you must be thinking, how can technology support what you do? How can it enable you? What technology is available to you today? It doesn't have to be complex. For a lot of small businesses, your phone can be a technology tool. Depending on how you use the platforms, it depends. There are many things that you people understand that I do not. If you ask the young people in the house, the things they can create using, when I look at all these AI movies that they're doing, and my children will say, you're watching those AI things again. I say, if I'm sitting in traffic and I have nothing to do, it solves a problem. But guess what? You can run adverts for your business without human beings that you need to pay. You know all those influencers, or what do they call them, models, that you have to pay a lot of money. You don't need them anymore. You create your own AI model and you put your clothes on them and you do AI adverts and show your products. You can create an AI office and set my furniture in it and tell you what your space will look like. So many solutions, too many options, too many things, too many ways. You just have to think. You must understand it, which is why you cannot afford not to have multi-generational thinking. The things that you do not know, the younger people around you, what they know will combine with what you know. We just tweaked my head office building and reconfigured it into a corporate facility. We literally rebuilt it. But a lot of people that worked on the project were young. My main architect became 40 on the project. My interior design architect was 30 while we were doing the project. The tech, and it's a very tech-enabled building. The guy who was in charge of our tech is in his 30s. Why? They are natives of the space of today. I knew exactly what I wanted. I could put on the table what I wanted, but they told me what was available to achieve it, because they knew it more than I did. And all of that together allowed all of us to deliver a very successful project. So if you want to build businesses for the future, you must have healthy respect for every human being, no matter their age and their qualification. One of them, her father was my friend. He was the MD of a bank that I knew. It was after I found her that I realized she was that person's daughter. But she's the one that is delivering service to me, not her father. And she didn't get the opportunity because of her father. She got it because I went somewhere and I saw something she'd done. And I said, I need this person to work with me. I don't have time to pay attention to this project. Adaptability and continuous learning. Now, sometimes you've decided what you know, what you want to do. But like COVID came, what do you have to do to survive during COVID? Adapt. You have to pivot. So you have to learn how to be light on your feet, how to adapt to the times and the changes. But you must understand your business to know how to adapt. Because if you don't understand your business and the market, you will not have the skills of adaptability. It is knowledge that empowers you to adapt. Your understanding of your market allows you to pivot. If you don't, then you can't. Some people are very narrow, they're fixed on what they do, and therefore they cannot rejig their business based on changes in their situation. You can't afford to be in that place. So ensure that you're knowledgeable. Embrace change, learn new skills, seek feedback, get feedback. What you think is right might be wrong. It's your customers that will guide you to the right place. You like making clothes, but you live in this area where there are a lot of celeb people. You love red, so you make all the clothes in what? In red, in black, and in white. Which one will sell? The black and what? And the white. Which one will not sell? Okay, so when it doesn't sell, what do you conclude? See, you made a decision based on your judgment, based on the colors you thought the style would look nice in. But you didn't do enough market research to understand the nature of the people in your neighborhood. And then suddenly you realize 70% of people that live there, they're celeb people. And therefore they will never wear red. So you are going to end up dashing it out to other people. Because even if you give it to them for free, they won't take it. Yes, because they don't wear red, period. So those things are critical. You must know, you must understand what is going on, and you must seek feedback. Because when you say, nobody is buying the red, somebody there would then tell you, madam, you know most people here are selling, they don't wear red. Sorry, I didn't know. Well, go and sell it in another neighborhood. Maybe you'll get some money for it. Seeking feedback, stay current with industry trends. Trends emerge from industries every day. You need to make sure. Emotional intelligence and professionalism. Self-awareness, be self-aware, know your own skills, know your weaknesses, and play to your strength. That's my rule for life. I only play to my strength. What I do using my strength. I outsource my weakness. Once I know the thing I'm not good at, I'm not going to suffer myself trying to be best at what I will never be best at. I'm going to find the person who is best at what I'm not best at, pay them the right price for them to deliver the best value so that the work can continue. So instead of investing 100% to get 50% return, because that's not my area of strength, I will invest 100% of my time on where I am best, and allow somebody else to give me 100% of themselves there, pay them a fair wage. We will move much faster, our revenue will be higher, and our returns and ability to innovate will be great. So always accept who you are. Celebrate your strengths. Your weakness, as I am, I hate operations. I'm a perfect entrepreneur. Ideation and execution. Once it's running, I'm bored. Somebody else needs to pick up. So those people that pick up, they are king in my life. Why? Because I know that without them, I do not have the time to sit on it because I don't like it. End of story. So I have to treat them well if I want the business to go on. So that's what you must be self-aware. You must recognize your strength, recognize your weakness, and know how you handle it. Self-discipline. Always discipline yourself to follow the plan. Follow the plan. Don't spend all the money the business is making because you think there are things you want to do. Your friend's daughter wants to get married. Your friend wants to get married. Good for them. Congratulate them. Attend the wedding. You don't have the money for the Ashebi. They did not invite Ashebi. They invited you. So go to the wedding. When you have made money, you will buy all the Asho in the world. It will not hurt you. You know, I have a simple principle for building wealth. When you are gathering from your business, what if you have sand, assuming your money is sand. When you are doing business and you are gathering money, what you have is what? Sand. If you gather more money, what do you have? Sand. If you have enough sand to mold a block, consider this pulpit the block. What do you have? What did you guys say? What do you have? Block. If you do like this to the edge of the block, what will you have in your hand? Don't ever consume your sand until you have molded your block. Self-discipline is how you build your business to growth and you build personal wealth. You don't consume before the time that you should. You must learn to understand that if you're building from within a business, you allow the business to grow from its revenue. You don't consume all of it. Put yourself on a stated salary. Understand what I call sinking fund. Determine what percentage of your profit each month will go into your sinking fund. It's your sinking fund you use to fund the growth of the business. There's a stage at which you will have more than enough to spend. But if you do it before the time, you're going to forever be broke. That business will never grow. People used to call me Jebu. Look, in the early days of my business, I used to charter taxi. Pay per hour. Go to the meeting, come back. If the taxi breaks down, whose business? Taxi driver, not my business. But if it's my car, my driver, if the car breaks down, whose problem it is? So car is a liability, it's not an asset. Until you have built your wealth, and then you have the luxury of having a car and a driver to do that. Stay focused. Understand what is important. For me, as a young girl, in the time I was building business, I was in a very capital-intensive business. Banks were not giving loans to people like me or my age at the point when I was building business. So I knew that I had to grow from within my business. It was important to reinvest every penny back. So buying a machine for the business was more important than buying a car. Buying raw materials for the business was more important than buying anybody's Ashebi. When you get to your destination, the people that did not talk to you because of Ashebi will come back and talk to you. So don't ever forget where you're going and stay focused on your journey. When you discipline yourself for the long play, you will play long. But if you do it for short term to impress anybody, you will soon run out of business. And many businesses go out of business. So let me wrap up with this. Your empower, let's just give it a framework. It means educate yourself continuously. Remember we said that. Master high value skills. Find the skills that are relevant to what you do, but also skills that are transferable. Make sure you learn them and you continue to educate yourself with them. Plan with purpose. When you're putting a plan, know what you're planning for. If I'm planning just to do the foundation of a house, that's easy for me to achieve. Then I know the next thing and the next thing. Plan with purpose. Own your decisions. You must go through the process to arrive at the right decision, but once you make it, own it. Sometimes you'll be right, sometimes you'll be wrong. But if you don't own it, even when you're wrong, you will not be quick to adjust yourself because you'll be in denial and you'll be blaming other people, and you'll not take the right action. If you took an action and it didn't work, you say, I was wrong here. We made a mistake. What do we need to do next? You can correct yourself because you owned your own decision. Work with discipline. As you're working, understand that you're the first example in your workplace for your team. If you are the oga that gets to work anyhow, if you get to work at 10, your people arrive at 9:50 because they know you will not be there. If you get to work at 7:50, everybody that should resume at 8 o'clock will be there at 7:30 because they know you will get there before them. So you build the culture of your own organization. If you yourself do not have discipline, you will build a very undisciplined organization. Expand your network. Understand that people are your biggest currency. Invest in them the right way, and you will benefit from it. Reinvent yourself constantly, because always the you of yesterday was okay for yesterday, but today what you need to be might be different. There's certain things that don't change. Your character, your truth, your honesty, your respect, those are constant. But there's certain things that must continue to change in your habit and all of that. And even the things you do wrong, you must always be ready to correct them, to learn and relearn, to unlearn, because sometimes it's what you learned before that is your problem. How do you unlearn it in order to learn new things? But you must recognize what is the new thing that you need to learn. I don't have that much time. I've taken all your time. Thank you very much. Okay.